Hi, I'm Rebecca Olson, CEO of the Maryland Association of CPAs. This year, we're thrilled to once again host the MACPA Foundation's Women to Watch Awards. We're excited to celebrate 30 amazing female leaders in our profession. And these awards not only recognize their success and contributions, but also inspire the next generation of leaders. Join me now for a brief interview with one of our incredible honorees, and we hope to see you in person on September 26th at our Women to Watch Awards breakfast.
My name is Keila Hill-Trawick. I run a CPA firm called Little Fish Accounting, where we serve professional service providers with one owner and small teams with year-round accounting and tax support. I also run a business called Build to Enough, which is focused on firm owners, really intentionally growing, staying small with headcount while staying profitable and successful.
And I love that you added that second part, because when I was looking about you and reading a little bit of the profile and things like that, that really stood out to me. It said, my mission is to help business owners determine their enough, the optimal balance between professional success and personal fulfillment.
Yeah,
How have
absolutely.
you, I guess, well, the question would be, what accomplishment are you most proud of? And I'm wondering maybe if that's that balance. You found that. So tell me more about that.
Listen, I would love to say that I found the balance and that all is good. I am still learning with everybody else.
Yeah.
I think, though, that one of my greatest accomplishments, I got to be on the cover of a Journal of
I see
Accountancy.
that girl right there. I love
Yes.
it. I love it.
I also got named to the Forbes list of the top 200 CPAs in the country. So those are really big. But I think probably my biggest accomplishment, especially for Little Fish, but also for the other business, is that I did start establishing that I wasn't going to grow by any means. And so some of the things that I think a lot of firm owners run into with hyper growth and just moving really fast to get big were things that I didn't have to run into. I think about things like I've never been late on payroll, but part of the reason that I've never been late or ran out of money for it was because I was really intentional about how big we got and really trying to stair step how many clients we took in to be able to support the team. So I think my biggest accomplishment is kind of staying true to my belief that we don't have to get big to be good.
That's amazing. Yeah. And I'm curious about the Little Fish name. I know there's got to be a great story there. So where did that come
Yeah.
from?
I knew from the beginning that smaller companies don't tend to get the hand holding or white glove service that larger companies give. And so from the time that I started Little Fish, I wanted to make sure that no matter what service you signed up for, you had an account manager, you had ongoing responsive support. This idea that just because you were small doesn't mean that you were a throwaway. And also that like small businesses were making money. We often kind of talk about them as like mom and pop just struggling to get it together. And I knew that there were so many businesses that were small in headcount, but really needed that level of sophistication with their accounting and tax support that we could provide and not make them feel like they were just one of many in a circle.
I love that name. That's perfect. And small business is the backbone of our economy, and so much opportunity there. So grateful. I wonder, as you see the profession evolving, I know you've been really outspoken, I guess, in the technology space as well, as you see the profession transforming. What advice would you give to someone just entering the profession about how it's changed and what they should be focused on?
Yeah, I think that we're in a really cool time when it comes to accounting because we're moving way beyond the transactional to the relational. And I think this idea of accountants as like calculator button pushers and just in the background doing things, we have an opportunity to stand at the forefront of small businesses, nonprofit organizations, all kinds of businesses that really need our support to be their cheerleaders, to be their partners, to really make them feel like they've got somebody in their pocket. And so as people are entering the industry now and thinking about like what could I do, think about accounting as really your foundation to what you want to do to propel other businesses. It's not just about the numbers and the financials and even the story that it can tell, but also about how do you make sure that businesses reach their goals, personal and professional, because of the data and the information that you have to help them make those strategic decisions.
Amazing. Amazing. I wonder if there is someone that you would point to, and maybe it's a group of people, maybe it's a community of people that you really would point to as your mentor, your cheerleaders, as you started your small business.
Yeah, I would say, so I always call him my mentor. He is James Estes. He is a CPA out of Dallas, Texas. And when I started my firm, I didn't know any other accountants. I knew no one else that had started a firm. So it was all really out of my brain. And I had creatives as initial clients. And so I was really using the agency model of how I built Little Fish,
Mm.
which a lot of people can still see now. But he was really helpful at like, helping me break down my perfectionism, explaining to me that, like, I'm not a machine. I am going to make mistakes. There are things that I need to be aware of and things that I don't have to necessarily hold in my brain. And for CPAs, we're so used to like studying for the test and trying to hold everything for ourselves. He's just been a rock star cheerleader for me to remind me that I don't have to know it all or own it all. And community is really going to be the backbone for all of my success.
That's amazing. Love when we have those cheerleaders in our community really pushing us forward and reminding us of things that we know, but sometimes get lost in the hustle, right? Amazing. At MACPA, we're really on this journey to help change kind of the narrative, some of the narrative about the accounting profession that's out there, both internally to the profession and externally, like what the public really views as the CPA profession. And we've done that through really getting intentional about purpose and impact, right? Because we believe that every CPA, their work matters and has almost a bigger impact than they even realize sometimes. And so I was wondering, what would be your CPA purpose? How would you describe, what's your impact statement as a CPA and as an owner of Little Fish?
I would say that my purpose is to show people that it can be done in a variety of ways. I think it's really easy to come into a profession and say, I have to make director or partner, or I've got to make a multi-million-dollar business. And my mission is really to show entry level to, I have been doing this for a while, that there are just multiple ways for us to feel successful, profitable, progressive. There are so many different ways that we need to show up as accountants, and each of us can operate in very different spaces and not limit ourselves to accountants are this. Accountants are a lot of things. And I just want to represent one corner of the industry to be able to say, you can look like me, talk like me, build something that's like mine, or something completely different. And all of us need to exist to diversify the profession.
Amazing. Absolutely. So the last question is, there's two different categories of our Women to Watch Awards. There's the experienced leader and there's emerging leaders. But that similar word leader is in there. So what, to Keila Hill-Trawick, being a leader means what?
I think being a leader means being a guide. And it can feel really easy to think that being a guide means being at the front of the line and making sure that everybody follows you. And instead, I really think that it is guiding the opportunities for the people who are following you to find their own way to get to whatever end result that there is. And knowing that you kind of push your ego aside and sometimes push your expertise aside to say, hey, this is the common goal that we're all trying to get to. What are your thoughts and ways and missions of how we get there? That doesn't always have to come out of my brain and my way. So I think if you're leading, you should be guiding, and that allows for you to build other leaders from coming from behind you.